There's no perfect nutrient. Every nutrient there's a part of it that is not usable. For example, if I eat an apple, I eat an organic apple, beautiful, perfect organic apple. There is part of it that I cannot use and will come out. So there's no perfect food. There's nothing you take in and 100% of it becomes you, except actually oxygen and water. And the reason is very complicated, but actually these things get used and they no longer exist as oxygen or water. They get used and they become other things. But there's really no perfect food, and that's what we have to understand, because people will ask, what is the perfect human diet? There is no perfect human diet. Okay, and so therefore, an apple, if I eat an apple, let's say I can use 90% of it and 10% I can't use. And let's say I eat, the same with broccoli. I eat some broccoli. 90% I can use, 10% I cannot use. My body has to get rid of it, otherwise, in a couple years I'll be too big to walk. So now let's say I put the broccoli into a pot of boiling water and I boil it. And now it's soft. Now, how much of it can I use? Maybe about 20%. The rest is not usable anymore. So I've changed it. If I fried it, maybe 0.01% I could use, and the rest I couldn't. I, therefore, long ago came up with the conclusion that instead of saying this food is better than this food and this is better than this, I look at food as being this is worse than, because none of it can be used 100%. This is less bad for you, less harmful for you. But what does that imply? That implies that probably the best diet would be not eating. And there's actually some evidence that that is true. There is some evidence and that has to do with the structure of our blood cells, our red blood cells. They have the same structure as chlorophyll in the plants. And they're used to grab energy of light and transmute it into biological energy. And as you know, in nature, God didn't and doesn't make anything that does not have value, does not have utility, that is not useful. Anything that exists for a purpose and has a reason and has utility. So there's no reason that we would have red blood cells that are, in chemistry we call it photoreceptive cells. In other words, they're designed to absorb light. Why would we have that in our blood? No one has ever answered that question because there's no obvious reason. Okay? But it exists, and things don't exist unless they're necessary.